I'm getting the entire inheritance as a husband. It's my natural right in a marriage. Maybe I'll invest in a grand mansion. Both my husband and mother-in-law are obsessively fixated on money. It's not just me. They even attempt to claim my father's inheritance as their own. Why should I hand over the wealth my father built up to these people? I will never forgive them, nor will I let them have their way. My name is S., a 44-year-old in my 20th year of marriage. I juggle housework and my job, leading a busy life. My husband, John, 2 years my senior at 46, works at a supermarket near the station. We met when I was a university student working part-time at the same supermarket. We started dating casually and got married when I was 24. We live with our son, Bill, who just started university this spring. I have a fulfilling job that keeps me busy, but there's one thing that troubles me. My husband's reckless spending. It's our right to spend our earned money however we want, but he's relentless in asking for more when it runs out. It's worse when all three of us are together. Sarah, I ran out of pocket money for this month, so put about $200 in my wallet. He demands every month. Again, it shouldn't be that little. What are you spending it all on? A man has various social obligations. My husband raises his voice immediately if I show the slightest resistance. It's all because you insisted on sending Bill to college in the first place. My mother-in-law adds, cornering me with sarcasm. That's right, Sarah. It's enough to just graduate high school like John did. What are you thinking? You don't want Bill to end up like John just because you graduated from college yourself. My father-in-law chimes in. This dynamic is always the same when it comes to money. I'm really glad Bill wasn't home at this time. He doesn't think highly of his grandparents either and makes sure to go out whenever they're coming. Then, one day, while preparing dinner, Bill told me something shocking. Mom, Dad's cheating. I saw him. He was walking into a hotel arm in arm with a woman. I never thought I would hear such a report from my son. I felt more disgusted than angry, realizing I probably didn't love him anymore. Just get a divorce, Mom. I can work part-time. My son reassures me. It's very reassuring to know my son feels the same way. Thank you, Bill, but I'll talk to your father first. You don't have to worry about anything if we do get divorced. I'm working too. On the night I thought to confront him about this, suddenly my husband came home with his parents. Father-in-law, mother-in-law. What brings you here all of a sudden? Then my husband and his parents barged into the living room. I thought I'd do something nice for my parents, like taking them on a trip to Hawaii. It's a bit much, but could you prepare about $5,000? Again, a demand for money, and this time, a large amount. The in-laws were grinning at me. Where would I get that kind of money? If you don't have it, ask your father. It's unfair that your parents live in a big house and we're in a rental apartment. He came up with some nonsensical argument. I was fed up and said, speaking of which, you're cheating, aren't you? My husband and his parents froze. I thought it would be better to have them hear it too, so I decided to confront him as planned. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I cheat? Do you have any proof? He was clearly flustered. Someone saw you entering a hotel looking cozy with another woman. Bring this person who saw it. I hesitated, not wanting my anger to be directed at Bill. Sarah, even if that's true, forgive a cheat or two. It's normal for men. You're his wife. You don't need to make a fuss, my mother-in-law chimed in. I couldn't believe a woman herself was condoning cheating. More importantly, hurry up with the money for the Hawaii trip. Yeah, we already made the reservations, added my father-in-law. That's right, Sarah. I'm counting on you. My husband always tries to change the subject when things don't go his way. I couldn't stand these people anymore. I decided to cut ties. We're getting a divorce, I said calmly. What are you talking about? Don't decide that on your own. If you really want a divorce, I'll take your parents' mansion as property division, my husband retorted as we argued. While we were in the midst of our disagreement, my cell phone rang. It was my uncle, my father's brother, with whom I often shared drinks. Is that you, Sarah? Your father suddenly lost consciousness and collapsed. He's been taken to the hospital by ambulance. I don't know his condition yet, but can you come quickly? He informed me. Without hesitation, I explained the situation to my husband and his parents and hurried to the hospital. Uncle, how's Dad? I inquired upon arrival. For now, he's asleep. He's not in immediate danger, but his condition isn't great, my uncle responded. I felt somewhat relieved, fearing the worst. My father, at 67, faced the inevitable vulnerabilities of age. He had taken over the company from my grandfather, working tirelessly to lead a comfortable life. However, things were tough in the beginning, to the point where we almost had to sell the grand house my grandfather had built. My mother passed away from an illness when I was in middle school, but my father never remarried and raised me by himself. He was irreplaceable to me. It seemed like he wouldn't wake up that day, so after talking with my uncle for a bit, I returned home. A few days later, I received a call that my father had woken up, and Bill and I went to visit him. Hey, Sarah. Bill. Sorry to worry you. My father greeted us. He seemed more energetic than I thought, a relief for both Bill and me. Bill, how's college going? He asked. Yeah, college is fun, and I'm studying hard, Bill responded. My father was happy to see Bill, creating a moment of connection amidst the challenging times. But when Bill stepped out, he said, Sarah, if something happens to me, I've left everything about the company to my subordinates, so you don't have to worry. As for the house, I interrupted my father. Dad, don't talk nonsense. Just get better soon. You don't need to worry about anything right now. Yeah, you're right, my father replied with a sad but gentle smile. Afterwards, the doctor called me, and it seemed my father's condition was quite serious. Years of overwork had taken their toll. On the way back, I couldn't stop crying. A few days later, my father passed away. That night, I cried until my eyelids swelled. During that time, Bill was my only support, staying by my side the whole time. However, as an only child, there were things I had to do. I started preparing for the funeral, trying to switch gears. The funeral was held at my family home, and many people came to offer condolences. I was reminded of how great my father was. I was too busy with arrangements to grieve. Bill helped as much as he could, even though he didn't understand everything. But my husband just played with his phone, doing nothing. With the help of relatives and my father's colleagues, we managed to get through the funeral. As we were cleaning up, my in-laws hurried over. Father-in-law, mother-in-law, thank you for today, I greeted them. My mother-in-law said, Sarah, that's not important. What a splendid house as always. She seemed impressed by the size of my family home. Ha! I was speechless due to our vastly different emotions. Sarah, is it true this house would sell for $3 million? Another insensitive question from my father-in-law. I evaded the question, I don't know. It's not my house. Then my mother-in-law quickly added, You don't have any siblings, right, Sarah? Yes, what about it? I answered sternly. Oh, nothing. Just checking. After that, they left, satisfied with my husband. After all the memorial services were over, I finally had a moment to breathe. While I was putting away the funeral clothes at home, my parents are coming over now. What? Why are they coming? I was depressed, thinking it was about money again. Why are they coming? They're my parents. We'll talk about it when they get here. So, wait a little longer. A few minutes later, my in-laws arrived grinning. They sat on the sofa, and then my husband said, Hey, Sarah, when are we moving? If it's just the three of us in such a big house, it's a waste. My parents will live with us after we move. What are you talking about? All of a sudden, we're getting divorced. I was busy with my father's affairs, but my intention to divorce hadn't changed. Oh, come on, that topic again. I was wrong before, got a bit angry. But I'm not cheating, and I don't want a divorce. Don't joke around. My husband dismissed the idea. I raised my voice. Now. You two spouses share everything, so it's not good to monopolize. He smirked and said something nonsensical. A wife should listen to her husband. You're planning to keep all the inheritance for yourself? I'll take it all. It's my right as a husband. If you don't like living together, Sarah, you can just give us the inheritance. Maybe we'll buy a mansion. My husband and his parents seemed to think all the inheritance was theirs. What a ridiculous family! My patience had long been exceeded by the audacity of these people, thinking they could inherit the house filled with precious memories of my father and the wealth he had worked so hard to accumulate. I want a room that's spacious and gets plenty of sunlight. I'd prefer a room close to the toilet. There are plenty of toilets in such a big house. Despite my glaring at them in anger, they were discussing these outrageous things. I vowed never to let them have their way. A few days later, I received a call from my uncle. "It's been tough, Sarah." "You did well," he consoled me. Then he mentioned, "There's something I need to talk to you about. Can you spare some time?" I agreed to meet him that night. "Uncle, what's up? What did you want to talk about?" I inquired when we met. "There's something I absolutely have to tell you, Sarah," he began. What he shared left me shocked, and I couldn't believe it had come to this. I decided to confide in him about what my husband and in-laws were saying, ridiculous and unforgivable things. My uncle was furious. "I definitely don't want to let them have their way, but it seems okay from what you said, Uncle. What should I do? How can I make them give up?" "Don't worry about anything, Sarah. Leave it all to me," my uncle assured me. Additionally, he had more news to share. Astonished, I requested another meeting with him the next day, and this time, I wanted Bill to hear it too. My uncle agreed, and we proceeded with the plan. The next day, I took Bill to meet my uncle and discuss our strategy. Bill, excited to participate in the plan, expressed his disdain for people who saw Mom and Grandpa only as money. With his support, we decided to move forward. A day later, I called my in-laws to our house and, along with my husband and Bill, had a discussion about living in my family home. They seemed surprised but agreed to the plan. They were eager to move into the mansion, not realizing it was about to turn into a major confrontation. When the moving date arrived, my husband messaged me, indicating that the final showdown was upon us. I felt a mix of nerves and excitement. As my husband and in-laws arrived at my family home with a moving truck, Bill and I were waiting. My husband casually greeted me, acknowledging the delay, and remarked, "So this is my house from today. I've really made it." Ignoring his comment, I looked at my in-laws, who were still sparkling with excitement. The gate opened, and my uncle appeared. He stood there, arms crossed, silent. My husband, apparently not remembering my uncle from the funeral, asked, "Who are you? What are you doing in someone else's house?" "This is my uncle, my father's brother. You met him at the funeral, remember?" I reminded my husband. Awkwardly, he muttered something like thanks, and my uncle asserted himself, explaining the true ownership of the house. Seemingly not fully grasping the situation, my husband and in-laws questioned the legitimacy of my uncle's claims. My uncle, fed up with their absurdity, firmly stated, "Listen, I'm a lawyer. The divorce will go through, and you'll be the one paying the property division." Finally, understanding the gravity of the situation, my husband and his parents left, and I made it clear never to show their faces to me again. My uncle successfully finalized the divorce, and I started living in the house my father had owned. It was a big space for just the two of us, but I was surrounded by memories and happy to be there. Cutting ties with my ex-husband and his parents proved to be a relief both physically and mentally. They struggled with part-time jobs and day jobs, and my ex-husband even called me once, pleading for money. I, however, maintained my distance, treating them as strangers. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, and I'm now focused on working hard at the job I love. My immediate goal is to see Bill successfully graduate from college.